Welcome to the WaltSurFootball.com podcast. This is episode 296. This is our week 4 NFL picks against the spread video. Joined once again by Jacob Camenker from the Sporting News. Jacob, how are you?
I'm doing really great. I'm excited for week 4. We're 3 weeks in, and my winning percentage is somehow still over 70%. I'm not going to pretend that that's going to last the whole season, but yeah, it's been a very nice 3 weeks to kickstart this thing for all of us.
Yeah, and you were how'd you do last week specifically?
Last week I went 11-5, so another double-digit win week. And you know, it didn't really feel like one for most of it. I did get lucky a couple times, got unlucky a couple times, so it kind of balanced itself out. But yeah, it was a really rock solid week, and most of my big plays hit. The only one that really didn't was the Giants, and I didn't put a huge play on that, but I did bet it, and that was the only one that was a real disaster, I felt like.
Yeah, that Giants game, I really don't understand how they could be that bad against a team missing 10 starters. It was just ridiculous. It was my pick of the month, and I lost. But overall, I went 12-4 against the spread, so I was pretty happy to have the results. The other big play that lost was the Saints -3. It was a tie game, and then Taysom Hill fumbled at midfield, and I don't know. You kind of have to think about what they're doing with Taysom Hill. Like, I get like using him as some trick plays when you're up 14. But in a tie game, like we take Hall of Fame quarterback off the field, I just don't like that strategy. But, I guess we'll see what happens. The Saints have an interesting game this week, I think. So we'll talk about that in a bit. So might as well start with the Thursday night game, the Broncos at the Jets. This line opened up Broncos -2 when it went to 3. And then it was announced that the Broncos starting quarterback would be Brett Rypien instead of Jeff Driskel, who is Brett Rypien is Mark Rypien's nephew, I believe. Mark Rypien, former quarterback of the Redskins. So this is his first start. So I guess we'll see how he does. But who do you like in this game?
Yeah, so this is a terrible game to kick off the week. I'm kind of excited to watch it because of how bad it could end up being. And you know, I'm sure we're all very much looking forward to this Sam Darnold Brett Rypien matchup at the start of the season. But I think I'm going to be on the Broncos here. This would be a no bet if it was a Sunday game, so probably a 1-unit play for me because I'm 8-1 in prime time, and I got to keep riding the streak. And you know, the Broncos, the reason I like them is I just don't think that the Jets are going to play hard. I think they know that if they lose this game, Adam Gase could be out as the head coach. I think there's a serious motivation going against the Jets winning. And we've heard rumors that the players just do not like Adam Gase outside of Sam Darnold. So I could easily see the Jets just kind of punting on this one and saying, hey, maybe if we just don't show up at all, then he'll be gone and we can move on. Greg Williams will take over in the interim, and then we can start fresh again. But, you know, there's reason not to like the Broncos, too. I mean, you've got all of these dudes on the Broncos hurt. They're missing 4 of their pass rushers / defensive linemen now that Jarrell Casey's out. They're missing their right tackle from UMass, Elijah Wilkinson, and he was already their backup right tackle. And then, you know, no Cortland Sutton, no Drew Lock. So there's so many injury issues. I actually like Rypien, and he is Mark Rypien's nephew. I thought he should have been drafted last year. He went undrafted, but has hung around with the Broncos. I think he's going to do better than Jeff Driskel. Driskel held on to the ball too long, tried to make plays because he's mobile, but ended up getting sacked a ton against the Buccaneers. I think Rypien, you're going to see more of a quick passing game, just kind of get the ball out of his hand, get it to the playmakers on the outside, whether it's KJ Hamler or Melvin Gordon out of the backfield or whatever they do. So I think they'll be able to make the offense move a little bit. And it's not like the Jets have a good defense. So I'm going with the Broncos probably for 1 unit. Again, I'm not very confident in this. I'm only betting it because it's the Thursday night game. But I think the line coming down, too, I don't think there's a big difference between Rypien and Driskel. If anything, I think Rypien being unproven is a good thing. Kind of reminds me of the Nick Mullins replacing C.J. Beathard a couple of years ago. So I'll be on Denver in this one.
Yeah, why is this line moving this way? It just doesn't make sense to me. When this was Broncos -3, I was like, okay, I'll take the Jets just because, you know, I feel like the most likely results of this game is Denver winning by 3 or the Jets winning by 3. But now that it's -1, I think I'm going to be on Denver as well with you because, you know, I don't get the Jeff Driskel hype. Like, there's so many people on Twitter saying Jeff Driskel is great and everything, like, or at least he's like a good quarterback. Like, he has a good arm, but you're right. Like, he's processed information way too slowly. He was not accurate, and so Brett Rypien can't be that much worse than Driskel. So if this line were still Denver -3, I think I would still side with the Jets maybe. But I think you made a great point about saying that the Jets just might mail this game in because this might be Adam Gase's final game. The injury report is going to be important. The Jets might get some players back. So, like, if the Jets get a Jamison Crowder back and maybe some offensive linemen, I'd consider a switch to the Jets. But right now, I'm going to be on Denver with you.
Yeah, I think it just makes too much sense. Like, the line shouldn't have moved. Like, there's no difference between the quarterbacks and the motivation. And, you know, we'll go through these picks and you'll understand why I was in like a big I want to fire these coaches move last week for some of these guys. But I think we're really staring down what could be the end of the Adam Gase era unless he can somehow really just rile up his guys in a way that we truly haven't seen from him at all this year.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to motivate the team when you traded their best player away. So I don't really see it happening. So we'll see. Before we move on to the Sunday games, please hit subscribe or the like button if you're watching on YouTube, or share this with someone else who might like football. So that would mean a lot to us. It would really help out the show.